So day 3 I had this morning. So this weekend I finished up all the transcription, right? I updated you guys on that. And I had about 8-9 minutes or so of just pure sound bites. I had it in some kind of order that I wanted to tell the story. And then this morning, I went ahead and whipped that bad boy out, side by side screened. I had a one screen, my transcript, the 8-minute transcript with all the good bites. And then on the right side, I had opened up Premiere, ready to go. I sunk up all my audio, which I should have done before, but I went and just did it anyway. It was already jam synced, but I went ahead and did it anyway. Went ahead, just went through, pulled out all the time code for each corresponding interview, put it in the order I wanted. Like I said, laid out to be about 8 minutes. I spaced each section out so I can kind of visually see on the timeline where each section started. And just like I said, I had about 8 minutes. And then from there, I just started cutting and cutting and cutting and really just sort of rearranging bites to see what sounded better, because sometimes you have to look at the inflection of certain bites and how people end their sentence and begin their sentence and how they blink and how they sort of just breathe at the end of it. And you want beats in between certain bites to give you some pacing. So yeah, that was sort of what I focused on mostly this morning, was getting that down. I got it down to about 5 minutes. And that was about midday, once it was all, that first pass was through. I was able to cut off another minute, but right now I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, I need some extra set of hands, some people who are really on the pulse of the client. So I'm gonna send this cut off to the director today, or one of the directors, and get his feedback as to like what beats, what points we need to get across here. Right now it's a little, to me personally, it has too many points and we need to dwindle that down, and I'm gonna leave that up to him, put the ball in his court. So that's sort of the step I'm in right now, is really just handing this thing off. I'm like, all right, man, here's what I've got. Tell me where you want to start cutting on this thing so we can get it closer to that 2.5-3 minute mark. So key takeaways today as far as my process goes. Number 1, separate things in the timeline so you can visually see where they are. That's always nice to do. I even put a little text block at the beginning of each section to kind of title them for each section. Number 2, this is more of a creative thing, is to pay attention to how people begin and end their sentences. Are they talking on a high note or a low note? Are they coming off of a sentence? Are they coming off a sentence? Are they in the middle of a sentence? And are they, laughing? Do they have anything personality-wise you can take a look at, you can leave hanging on screen? These are all like really nice little things that you can add into your edit that really, just separate you as an editor. So I listen for those things and I look for those things. They're very important. I would say the third thing of it I did was I kind of just went through and looked for B-roll selects. I didn't really go through it all, but I did put B-roll in certain areas that I thought would be fitting. They're not perfect yet, and I definitely want to do a better pass later, but right now that's what I did. So I also did some dummy tracks, some music from, I looked on MusicBed, and I also looked on Soundstripe. And I kind of got a general feeling of where I want this to head, how I want it to feel. And so I put that in there. I'm not totally sold on the music yet, but that's okay. Music is usually here's another point that you guys take away. Music is usually the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to sail through, unless you get really good at it, which I've found I've gotten good at over the years. So if you have any questions on music, I can always kind of point you out. But generally, music is the hardest sell because music is so subjective. And people have different tastes and different feels about how they want to feel. But, there are certain things you can look for that can generally push it through. So, yeah, so I'm sending that off tonight. This is day 3 of the video journal. And thanks for checking in. If you have any comments, let me know down below. If you hadn't subscribed yet, subscribe, because that's what you're supposed to do. Thank you.